Casey Ship created Hotmomz Lifestyle. You're here. This is a free group. Marisa has been, she's a Hotmomz alumni. We met, I don't know, 3, 4 years ago. She found me through my fast food guide. And just one of those connections where it was like a soul sister, soul family thing, where usually a lot of the Hotmomz alumni, we always end up that way. It's like this soul tribe shit anyway. But she's done so much this year and for just growth, like soul evolution. She's been a stay-at-home mom for so many years, and just recently wanted to just, well, she got into Hotmomz and wanted to get into that self-discovery and the awakening thing. And then here she is, yoga teacher now. And she goes, hey, what do you think on my final days of my certification that we do this, a class? I'm like, fuck yeah. Because I mean, y'all know I'm a big believer in the Eastern practice of yoga. I'm not big on the Western at all. Like, I'm not about trying to work out and stuff like that. It's more for me about mindfully checking in and stuff like that. So I'm going to let Marisa lead us through. I think she said it's like a 45-minute total thing, but it's going to be some meditation, some checking in and stuff like that. Meditation is one of those things where it maybe feel kind of weird to you, kind of foreign. And it did to me in the beginning as well. Here's the deal. And I'm going to let Marisa do her thing, is tell us her little 2 cents. But for me personally, yoga is about checking in with self, and it's about breath work and really just clearing our energy. It's not about if we're doing the move perfect or doing the pose perfectly. And meditation, if you feel resistance and you feel like you're not doing it right, you are. So take all those fucked up beliefs of not doing it right and fear of perfectionism and am I doing this right? And you are doing it right. You're here. So just breathe, see what's going on, check in with your body. I'll let Marisa explain more about that as we go through it. But yeah, I'm going to set up my yoga mat, hand it over to her. But she has 3 kids. I wanted to say 3 kids. She's got a lot going on. So she's going to walk us through how she kind of taps in, settles into her body. And it's just really cool watching her and how she's done everything from going to where she was at, just frantic, franny, and then to this yoga goddess. So yeah, I'll let her share it. And also she's going to post her link. If you want to tip her or donate, she has an organization that means a lot to her, that she's going to donate some of the proceeds to. So please, if you enjoyed this, donate the money. She's got the information there. And then she also shared her playlist. We were going to play it, but we would get copyright issues. So that we'll keep this recording up. You can check out her information. I'm pretty sure she's going to do yoga online. So if you like her style, you can hire her as your own personal yoga guru. So I'm going to hand it over to Marisa. I'm going to mute and set my mat up and just let her have the floor. What's up, Marisa?
Hey, Casey, what's going on? So like Casey said, we had this like spiritual connection. I think it was like divine intervention that, 2 people that cuss and love as much as we do, God was like, you got to put you guys together for something. I don't know, maybe he's just laughing up there or whatever. But I met Casey a couple years ago online. She posted a video. I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, this is my kind of people. Where I was in my headspace at that time, I would say resistance is probably the biggest word. You resist self-care, you resist to take care of yourself. And I guess you just have to get on a journey and, find where you're at. Casey had all this wealth of information to offer, love, support. I mean, you open your heart, you open your soul. You think about how many times a day you go to Starbucks or buy those shoes or buy whatever that's like a quick fix. And then you're still upset at the end of the day. You're still drained at the end of the day. You're still not filling up your cup at the end of the day. And I got to my breaking point where I had enough. And so my friends are in the background. I jumped on with Casey, man, and I never looked back. So if you guys are, a lot of you guys are in this group. I've got some friends that hopped on the call too. If you guys are thinking about checking out what Casey does, it's life-changing, man. So check her out. Good stuff. I'm currently in yoga teacher training. So Casey has given me this amazing opportunity to continue my practice and share it and get better. And like she said, there's no wrong way to do it. If you mess up, it's just your flow. You do what serves you. If it doesn't feel right, we have modifications. Yoga's the most just biggest expression of love, I guess I can say. And so in my yoga teacher training, I have come across some really awesome people. I don't want to get in their way. This is my friend Sabrina over here and Mandy. These are my homegirls. They're going to flow and stretch with us, and we're just going to laugh and have fun. And you guys make it your own. So we're going to start with a meditation. First, Mandy and Sabrina are going to go ahead. We've got a daily mantra for you. They're going to give you a little mantra, and then they're going to give you a little piece of pep right now. So I'm going to be quiet for a second and let them draw their energy and give them a minute right here before we get started.
I picked this earlier, and it says give yourself a break. So yoga is a really good time to really give yourself a break, even though you are working physically and mentally. It's a really good time to chillax, release your emotions, release your energy, release your muscles, and yeah, have a nice little break.
What's up, you guys? This is Mandy. I'm picking a word here. The word is believe. There we go. Hi, Casey. I would refer to this as believe in yourself, no matter where you are. Wake up, believe in yourself. On your mat, believe in yourself. In your car, believe in yourself. Wherever you are, believe, believe, believe. So let's do this today, you guys.
So Mandy and Sabrina just gave you guys a little tidbit for today. So just keep that on the edge of your mat. If you guys want to sign on to Spotify right now for the playlist, we're going to go through a meditation. So everyone is going to come to what's called Sukhasana, which is an easy seat. So typically, if you want to sit in like a butterfly position, whatever's comfortable to you, like I said, whatever serves you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and start this on my end here. If you guys want to start it on yours, what you're going to want to do is slowly just flutter your eyes closed. You're going to put your hands on your knees, palms facing up, and just softly close your eyes. If that's not comfortable for you, just a soft gaze works as well. All right. So I wrote something for you guys this morning, and I'm going to go ahead and get started just for you guys. Close your eyes, palms facing up. Welcome home, friends. Place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Yoga is about breath. So we're going to take a breath in and a breath out. And what you want to do is find your Ujjayi breath, which comes from your throat. It's almost like making like a Darth Vader sound. When you inhale and exhale, you really want to like fog up that window. So we're going to do a practice one. Breathe in and make it really audible on the breathe out. And you're just going to follow the rhythm of your own breath and just continue like that. One hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. Feel the rise and fall of your belly. Feel the beat of your heart. Listen to what it's telling you. Take a deep breath in and feel it from the tips of your toes to the head. Inhale and exhale. Feel the vibration of your breath. The breath is the only thing that's with you from the moment you're born until the moment you leave this earth. It unites the body and the mind together and can change the way you feel mentally, emotionally, and physically. It gives you power. It breathes new life into every cell in your being. It energizes your mind. Deep breath in, audible breath out, let it go. Breathe in oxygen and love. Breathe out the toxic and let it go. Sitting in silence is necessary. Sometimes it's really hard to do, but that's when all the answers start to come to you. So as we sit here with our eyes closed, just focus on your breath and my words. Leave your worry, leave your stress. Whatever has hurt you does not define you. Release it. Do not give it power or control. You are grounded and safe. You are home and you are loved. Feel the energy rise. Lost my headphone. Feel the energy rise from the ground, up through your sit bones, all the way to the crown of your head. Take a few more breaths on your own. And on the next exhale, really hear your breath. Push it all the way out and release. Just lay here in silence for a moment. Soak in this restorative pose. You are honoring your soul. You are taking care of your mind and well-being. You are balanced. With your eyes closed, on your next inhale, raise your arms up to the sky and welcome in your vibrant, beautiful energy. Exhale and bring in that light into your heart as you lower your hands to prayer center. Set your intention for the day. Remind yourself of your greatness. Put yourself first. Love yourself so much that that love spills out all over. Take this gentle power that will continue to build in you during this practice and share it with the world when you leave. You are a blessing. Feel the energy in this room. Feel the community that you are surrounded by as it motivates you, loves, and protects you throughout your day. Gently flutter your eyes open. All right, my friends, that was our meditation for today. We're going to go ahead and get started with our yoga right now. We're going to start in Janu Sirsasana. So you're going to start in a straddle seat, and we're going to slowly move into this and just warm up our bodies and stretch. We're going to take it really slow. So our first pose, or asana, you're going to reach your fingertips forward, extend your fingertips so you feel the energy of the earth, okay? And whatever's comfortable for you. If it doesn't feel comfortable, then pull back just a little bit. You can go as far as you want to go down. You can put a block and rest on your block. And we're just going to stay here and stretch the spine, elongate the spine a little bit. Feel your lungs expanding. Feel your ribs on each inhale and exhale. Slowly walk your fingertips back up. You're going to draw your left foot in and place it into your right upper thigh. Hug it right in. You're going to square up your hips towards your right foot and the length of your leg. On an inhale, reach your hands to the sky. And on an exhale, forward fold. You can rest your head on your knee if you want, or you can grab a block if that's more comfortable. You can also put a block on the side of your foot here if you want a bigger stretch. And just breathe into this position for a couple breaths. We'll take about 4 rounds of breaths here, just on your own. Make sure your foot is flexed. On your next inhale, you're going to raise your fingertips to the sky and you're going to switch sides. So you're going to kick out your left foot. You're going to draw your right heel and foot into your left upper thigh. Square your hips off so you're facing your left leg and your foot. Inhale, lift your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, forward fold over your knee. We're going to take a couple breaths here. And just relax your mind, which is super hard to do in this fast-paced world, but that's what it's about. Just breathing. Two more breaths here. On the next inhale, raise your fingertips up to the sky. You're going to tuck your feet and you're going to come to tabletop. So ground your fingertips into the floor, into your mat. Here's what tabletop looks from the side. I've got my trusted friends in the back. So we're going to take a couple cat-cows. We're going to loosen up that spine and make sure you're good to stretch out. So on your inhale, you're going to lower your belly, open up your throat and your heart, and arch your back. Exhale, you're going to round your spine. That's called cat. We're going to go through 10 of these. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Really round that spine. Draw the navel up into the spine. And just keep going on your own for a couple rounds. Inhale, lift your heart. Open your heart to the day. Exhale, round your spine. Pull your navel up in. Engage your core. Just do a couple more on your own. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure you're tucking your head down too, because you want to release any tension in your neck. Couple more here. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to move to some crunches. You're going to extend your left arm long and your right leg long. Make sure your right foot is flexed. Inhale, you're going to draw into the center of your belly. Lift your spine, tuck that navel in. Exhale, push out. Inhale, breathe in, tuck everything in. Exhale, push out. 3 more. Inhale, draw everything in. Squeeze your thighs together. Exhale, push out. 2 more. Inhale, squeeze it in. Exhale, push it out. Slowly return your hand and your knee back to the ground, and we're going to set up for the other side. Extend your right fingertips long and your left foot long as well. Flex your foot. On the inhale, draw everything in. Tuck it in, squeeze everything real tight. Exhale, extend. Inhale, tuck everything in. Exhale, release. 3 more. Inhale, tuck it in, draw that navel into the spine, squeeze everything. Exhale, extend. 2 more. Inhale, draw it in. Exhale, release. 1 left. Inhale, draw it in. Really hold the pose. Feel your breath here. Exhale, extend. You're going to put both hands. I think I need bigger ears. This thing keeps dropping out of my ear, y'all. But you got to roll with it. Ooh, that's a good idea. Look at that. That's why I got my buddy here. Thanks, Mandy. Okay, we're going to come to a high plank. If this is not comfortable for you, you can always lower your knees. Oh, we got our modifier back there. Thanks, girl. So high plank. You're going to draw out your right foot, kick it out on the inhale, hold it for the first round. We're going to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, high plank. Inhale, kick it out. Exhale, draw it in. 3 more. Inhale, kick it out. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, kick it out. Exhale, draw it in. 1 left. Inhale, kick it out. Exhale, draw it in. Put your knees down. Shake out your arms a little bit. Maybe take a little back stretch. And we're going to set up for the other side. So high plank, left side. Inhale, draw your leg out. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, kick your leg out. Exhale, draw it in. 3 more. Inhale, kick your leg out. Exhale, draw it in. 2 more. Inhale, kick your leg out. Exhale, draw it in. One left, guys. Really pull up that belly. Inhale, kick it out. Exhale, draw it in. Slowly lower your knees. We're going to come to child's pose and just restore for a little bit. Stretch your fingertips out really wide. If at any time during this, anything is too challenging or you need a break, you can come to child's pose at any moment and just restore there. I'm going to give you guys a couple breaths here on your own. Do some inhales and exhales and just let your body restore. Push your hands back into the ground. Really feel the energy pulling from the earth. On your next inhale, we're going to push back to downward dog. So here's where you can really make it your own. You're going to pedal out. So you can pedal your legs out. You can do a push-up. Get some of those kinks out. You could bend, twist, and open. Give that right side body a nice little yawn. So if you extend your right leg, you bend, twist, and open. Draw your right heel towards your upper thigh. Your knee is going to be higher than your leg. So you're giving that whole right body a stretch. Make sure your shoulders are level with the ground. And they're even. You don't want to be stretching over. You want everything straight ahead. Extend the right leg and put it down. Pick up the left leg. You're going to bend, twist, and open. Give that left side a nice little yawn and wake up. Your right knee is higher than your right ankle. Make sure your body is square. Fingertips are wide. Left leg goes up, and you're going to bring it back down. On your inhale, you're going to raise your heels. You're going to bend your knees and you're going to look forward. The first couple ones, we're just going to step. So step softly to the top of your mat. On an inhale, you're going to raise halfway. So you want your back flat. Gaze is soft. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Raise all the way up to the sky, fingertips. Maybe take a tiny little back bend here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, straight back. You want to be able to put like a pizza box on your back. Exhale, you're going to flow. So hands are going to go to the mat. Right foot steps back. Left foot steps back. High plank. Hold that here for just a moment. Come up on your tiptoes. Slowly lower. Now you're going to hug everything in. Your triceps. Hug everything in, lower halfway, hold that for just a minute. And then your first inhale, either come up to cobra or up dog. Whatever's comfortable for you, whatever serves you. And on your exhale, we're gonna go to downward dog. You're gonna lift up over your toes, like someone's lifting your hips up, pull up with your hips, up over your toes, downward dog. We're gonna do a couple more sun A's and really wake up the body here. Lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward, walk or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw the shoulder blades together. Knit them together. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. Tiny little back bend. Hands to prayer, forward fold. Still over your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Hands go down. High plank. Hold it. Low plank. Tuck everything in. Up dog. And up over your heels. Down dog. Two more. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Walk or float to the top of the mat. You want to land really softly. You don't want to like pounce on your mat. You want to land as softly as you can. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root and rise, reach all the way up, pull that energy in. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, flow. Hands down, feet back, high plank to low. Go really slow. Up dog. And lift those hips up over the toes, down dog. One more. Lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward, walk or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root and rise all the way up. Bring in that energy, spill over your legs, and let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. One more, flow. Step back, lower halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, your right leg is going to float up. Make sure it's flexed. You're going to step your right foot through the tops of your hands. Dial your left foot down. Put your hands on your hips. You're going to square up your hips. You want to make sure you're facing forward. Your right foot is at 12 o'clock. You're not on a tightrope here, so give yourself some space, whatever feels good. Warrior one. If you really want to get a nice stretch, extend your right leg and then draw it back down. You might want to place like a little apple there for balance. If not, if that's not comfortable, come up a little bit for you. You're going to soften your shoulders and just take a couple breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. On your exhale, we're going to go to warrior two. So palms up for the first moment. Really settle in. You want to make sure your right foot is in line with the arch of your left heel. And really settle in. Lengthen that leg and then draw it back down. And then you're going to flip your hands. And just breathe here for a couple rounds. Flip your palm. We're going to reverse our warrior. Draw your right hand up over your head. You can look towards the back. You can look towards the side. And just really feel those ribs expanding and that right side body opening. Then we're going to cartwheel our hands back down to the earth. Step your right foot back, and we're going to flow high to low. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to float the left leg. Pick it up, and we're going to step through. Place your left foot in between your hands. Dial that right foot back down. Hands on your hips. Square up your hips. If they're already there, you can go to warrior one. Warrior one. Soften your shoulders. Breathe in here for a moment. Warrior two. Set up on the same side. Left foot is going to intercept the back right arch of your foot. If you want a little more of a challenge, deepen that bend on the left knee there. Flip your palm, reverse warrior. And flow. Cartwheel your hands down to the floor. Step your left leg back. Slowly lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. We're going to do one more of those. Right leg lifts. Step through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel down and flow. Step the right leg back. Slowly lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Step. Dial the right foot down. Raise up. Exhale, warrior two. Flip your left palm, reverse warrior, and flow. High to low. Cartwheel your hands down, step that left leg back. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, lift your right leg. Step. We're going to come up to crescent. So your left foot, it's like you're putting it in a heel. Get your Louboutins on, girls. Get that left foot. Get that left foot in that heel. There's a nice bend in your right leg. Crescent, same soft shoulders. Okay. Now we're going to go to warrior two. From warrior two, we're going to do an extended side angle. So your left fingertips are going to reach up. Your right forearm is going to rest softly above your knee. Reach your fingertips up to the sky. Feel a nice little stretch. We're going to take 5 breaths. We're going to thunderbolt our arms forward. You really need to focus on your breath here. Reach both of your hands. Inhale and exhale. Draw that belly in. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. 1 more. Inhale, exhale. Reverse your warrior. Flip that palm up and over and flow. Cartwheel your hands down. Step your right foot back. Low plank. Up dog. Down dog. Left leg is going to lift. Step through. Crescent lunge. Rise up. Now your right foot is in that heel. Left leg is extended. Soften your shoulders a little bit. Warrior two. Dial the right foot back down. Reverse warrior. Extended side angle. So the right fingertips are going to reach towards the sky. Your left forearm is going to rest on your knee, right above your knee, excuse me. And then we're going to thunderbolt our arms forward for 5 more breaths. 2, 3, tuck the navel into the spine, squeeze the thighs. 4, 5, reverse warrior. Cartwheel down, flow, high to low. Kick that left foot back. Lower halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift your heels. Bend your knees, look forward. Walk to the top of your mat. Toe heel your feet hips width distance apart. So like you have 2 fists in between your feet. That's about where you want to be. You're going to make a nice little bend in your knees. You're going to grab opposite bicep to opposite bicep and just hang in ragdoll. Make sure you're not holding any tension in your neck. You want your neck and your head to just hang. Take a couple breaths here. Extend your hands back down to the floor. Heel toe your feet back together. Step back to high plank and flow. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees. Walk or step to the top of your mat. Inhale, we're going to go to chair pose. So if you want to do, you can start at mountain pose and then you're going to sit into it. You want to make sure your body's not like this. When you sit in a chair, you're making a chair. So sit in chair pose. We're going to take a couple breaths here. Draw the navel in again. Squeeze your thighs together. If it's more comfortable, bring your hands to prayer center. And just breathe. On your next exhale, sink a little deeper. You're going to feel it in your thighs, but we're going to breathe through it. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Inhale, rise to mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold, still over your leg. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, flow. Step your legs back. High plank, slowly lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, come to the top of your mat. We're gonna inhale and come down to chair. Put your hands at heart center. We're gonna chair prayer twist, chair prayer twist, say that 5 times fast, to the right. So you're gonna hook your left tricep across to your right thigh. Press the fingertips of your hands together. You want your head above and higher than your bottom. If you want to expand your wings, draw the left hand down to the earth and extend the right fingertips up to the sky.
How about this?
There you go, man. If you want to do a side crow, if that's in your practice, you make it whatever you want it.
By the way, I never
You're going to come back to prayer center, forward fold, let it go.
That's believing in yourself. That's my word.
There you go. Believe, guys. Believe. We got this. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, let it go and flow. Step back. Lower halfway. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to do it on the other side. Inhale. Lift your feet. Bend your knees. Walk to the top of the mat. Chair pose. Come down. Chair prayer twist to the left. So you're going to draw your right tricep into your upper left thigh. Press your fingertips together. Make sure your head is higher than your bottom. And we're going to sit in this for a couple breaths. Squeeze your thighs together. Draw the navel in. Believe. Can I get a believe? Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. This is very challenging. You're going to feel you're pushing to your edge right now. Expand your wings. Draw your right fingertips down to the ground. Left fingertips reach the sky. Pull that energy in. And forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, flow. Step back. High to low. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come back to child's pose. We're going to take a restorative couple breaths here. Take a little break. Breathe in and breathe out. Restore your body, honor your body, serve your body. This is your practice. On the next inhale, we're going to come to down dog. We're going to lift our heels, bend our knees, walk to the top of the mat, and we're going to set up for tree pose. You're going to root your right foot into the ground. Now with tree pose, there's a couple different variations. You can kickstand your foot at the bottom of your mat. You can draw, just make sure you're not putting any pressure on your knee. So you can have it below your knee or above your knee. And a tree can be anything. You can have your hands at prayer center. You can be flowing and free. We're going to hold this pose for a couple breaths. If you want an extra challenge, you can close your eyes. I'm not very coordinated, so I can't close my eyes and I'll fall. But you can try it. Set your drishti, which is your gaze. So you want to focus on something. Pull the navel in once again. Arms can come up or to prayer center. And just breathe. Remember your intention for the day. On an inhale, raise your arms up to the sky. Let your left foot fall down. Shake it out. We're going to set up for the other side. Shake it out. Shake it, shake it. Okay. Ground your left foot down. You're going to raise your right foot up. Make sure you're not putting pressure on your knee, so either above your knee or below your knee, or you can just kickstand it on the floor. And then you make your tree whatever you want. Set your drishti. Find your focus. Let go of anything that does not serve you. On an inhale, raise your arms up to the sky. Drop your right foot. Bow over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, flow. Step your legs back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. You're going to step it through. Ground your left hand into the floor. Open arm twist to the right. Right fingertips reach up to the sky. Now we're going to go to side plank. You're going to turn your right and your left foot in the same direction. You're going to step your right foot back to side plank. Any variation of side plank that you want to do, you can. You can drop your leg. You can extend your leg up. Take 2 breaths here. And then come back to high plank. And lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, lift those hips, down dog. Left leg lifts. You're going to step through. Excuse me. Put your right hand on the floor. Left fingertips reach up to the sky. Open arm twist to the left. Turn both sets of toes to the left. Step your left foot back to high plank. Really draw that right side up. You don't want to be slouching. So really draw it up, pull everything into that side body. Any variation you'd like, feel free to take. Left hand returns to the earth and flow. Downward dog. Now we're going to come to our knees. We're going to do a modified camel's pose. So you're going to sit in hero's pose. So just sit on your heels. Is what you like, camel? Love it. Okay. Sabrina's going to show you how camel is. I don't love camel, but I like hero's pose. So I'm going to do the modification. Mandy's going to do the modification. So you're going to reach your right arm up to the sky and draw it behind you to touch your right toes. Lift your left fingertips up to the sky. Draw it down to touch your left toes. Your gaze is going to be soft. Look up, expand the heart, and just breathe. What you take away today is to open yourself up to new experiences, things that you didn't know were possible, things that are challenging that may have scared you. That doesn't serve you. Don't let, trust and believe. Don't let fear take over. You have one life and that's it. Raise your arms up to the sky. Bring your hands to prayer center. Come to a seated position. Your feet go straight out in front of you. We're going to set up for bridge. You're going to slowly lower. Extend your fingertips in front of you. And one vertebra at a time, as slow as you can, tuck that belly in. Roll all the way down to your back. I'm going to turn this way so that you can see me a little bit better. Okay, so bridge pose. You're going to draw your knees in, put them flat on the ground. Your hands are going to tuck up into your shoulder blades here. And on the next inhale, we're going to push up. So draw those hips up. If you'd like to bind, you can interlace your fingers underneath. Yeah, any modifications, you can use a block. You can watch Sabrina or Mandy. Just breathe. See if you can pull up just a little bit more. One more breath here. Release your bind. Slowly lower your hips back down to the earth. We're going to do 3 more of these. Take a breath and let it go. Inhale, lift your hips up. If you'd like to take a bind, interlace your fingers. or just keep your hands stacked on the floor. 3 breaths here. On your next exhale, slowly lower your hips to the floor. Recenter yourself. Round your hands and your feet back down into the ground. And on your next inhale, lift up. We have 1 more after this. Take a bind or knot. 2 more breaths. On your next exhale, slowly lower your hips back down to the earth. We have 1 more bridge. Inhale, lift your hips. Three breaths here. On your next exhale, slowly lower your hips down to the earth. We're gonna take a happy baby pose and release that lower back. So draw your knees in, give yourself a nice little hug here. We're gonna massage the lower back. If you just wanna stay like this with hugged in knees, you can. If you wanna take happy baby, you're gonna grab your feet and kind of pull your knees into your armpits. And just make some soft motions. You can make a figure 8 if you want, or just roll back and forth and release your lower back a little bit. We're almost there, guys. We're doing good. On your next exhale, you're going to lower your feet to the ground, and we're going to set up for some scissor kicks. We're going to work those abs a little bit. So you're going to draw your feet up to the sky, feet flexed. Now point your feet, and we're going to count to 10 as we slowly lower. Breathe in and out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your feet, bring them up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower them down. Bring them up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Bring them up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower to the ground. Bring them up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have 5 more. Inhale, raise your legs. 5 left. We got this, guys. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower, take a breath. Raise your legs up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 left. Raise them up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 more. 2 more. Sorry. Got you excited. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one, guys. Inhale. Bring up those legs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let go. How's those abs feeling, guys? Stretch it out just a little bit. We're going to come to a seated position. Mandy, this trick is working, man. I love it. My earbuds are not falling out. We're getting there, guys. We're so close. You guys are doing great. So now we're going to set up for pigeon or deer. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to downward dog. Yeah, Sabrina's going to do a supine version. So if you don't feel like...
I'll just see it.
Okay. So your right leg is going to lift. You're going to draw your right knee to your right wrist. And make sure your leg is parallel. Now, I don't love pigeon. I love the stretch. You need it for like the hip opener. If you want to do pigeon, your left leg, here, I'll show you this way. Your left leg is going to be behind you. So you might want to grab your block because we're going to hang out here for a second. If you want to do deer, which I like the best, your left leg is going to mirror your right leg. So you're going to sit like this. You're going to slowly lower your head down to your mat or your block. And we're just going to hang here and restore for a little bit. Feel the gentle hip opener. And just, you're in full pigeon? Yeah. Okay, Mandy's in full pigeon. Sabrina's in supine pigeon. I'm in deer. So you take any version of that feels good to you. And just rest your head. And we're going to breathe here. Come back to your breath. Inhales and exhales. Slowly bring awareness back into your body. We're going to set up on the other side. So if you have a block, move your block out of the way. Be mindful of your hips. Press your hands down into the ground. Slowly lift up. Put your feet back. Maybe you want to take a high plank, low plank, a little flow just to stretch. And then when you're ready, we're going to come to downward dog again. Your left leg is going to float. And you're going to draw your left knee to your left wrist. If you're doing pigeon, the right leg is going to flank long behind you. Rest your hands on the ground, on top of your hands, or on a block. If you'd like to do any modifications, Mandy and Sabrina have both modifications for you. I'm going to go ahead and do deer because I have issues with my knees and I'm an old lady. So I'm going to set up for deer here. We're going to reach forward and just restore. Head down to the mat or block and just breathe. Slowly bring awareness back into your body and your breath. Press your hands firmly into the ground and slowly rise up to a seated position. We're going to lower down all the way to your back, really, really slow. I'm going to face this way so you can see me. You're going to extend your left leg, draw your right knee in. You're going to hug your right knee. Draw your right knee over your left. You're going to tee out your arms, and your gaze is going to fall to the right. This is a supine twist. So similar to the twist that we did earlier, it's almost like a washcloth. If you envision like a washcloth, like it's twisting, you're giving your internal organs a nice rinse and getting rid of all of the toxic. Gaze is soft. Just breathe. If it's more comfortable, you can drop both knees to the side and just hang here for a moment. Come back to center. You're going to draw both knees in. Give yourself a nice little hug. We're going to roll out the lower back just a little bit. Maybe do some figure eights. Now you're going to extend the right leg out long, flex the toes, hug your left knee into your chest, draw your right knee over to the ground, or you can put both of your knees to one side if that feels better for you. Tee out your arms, and your gaze is going to look to the left, and just breathe. Gaze is soft, or you can close your eyes. Slowly bring awareness back to your body. Draw your knees back into your chest. Give yourself a nice hug. Just roll it out for a minute. I gotta check my earphones here. All right, guys. Extend both of your feet to the outer corners of your mat. You're going to let your feet flop out. Palms are going to be facing up. On your inhale, you're going to remember your mantra for the day. And on your exhale, Shavasana, you let go. Eyes closed, surrender. Anything that you brought in with you today leaves now. Soften your breath. Bring some awareness back to your body. Wiggle your fingertips and your toes. You're going to draw your whole body over to your favorite side. So it could be your right side or your left. Put your palm under your head. Draw your knees in together. Keep your eyes closed. Press your palm into the ground and slowly come to a seated position. Eyes still closed. Inhale, draw your fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, bring your thumbs to your forehead center. The light and love in me sees and honors and respects the light and love in you. We bow and say, Namaste.
That was
awesome, guys. Thanks, y'all.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I want to go over a few things. With those watching on the recording, you guys, I don't know if you felt it. So there was a couple of flows where, well, first of all, when I got on initially, I knew that my heart, something had caused my heart center to feel guarded. Of course, I was gonna, like, is it collective? Is it mine? But no, I woke up with a little bit of tinge of anxiety. So we did some pose that was reverse warrior, and then the fire, the thunder thing. Okay, the thunder, whatever it's called, that one. Well, on one side, I mean, holy shit, definitely energy was moving. And every time, like, I'll do some yoga, specific kinds, when I'm clearing my heart and throat, I mean, I couldn't even breathe. I was doing the deepest, like, lung cough. It sounded like I was hacking up a lung, like, like a deep, deep thing. So can you go over, if anybody, well, people watching this aren't really into the energy behind yoga, but really the movements are a way to honor the body and the chi flows, the vitality, you know, the life in us, the God in us. That's really what's going on. And some poses are harder than others, which means there's some kind of locked up energy in there. So pay attention to what comes to mind when you're feeling these poses. And do you judge yourself? Does certain people, situations come up? Do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, I definitely think some energies are going to push you to your edge. Some poses are going to push you to your edge. And that's when you go in deeper and you really focus on your breathing and the inhales and the exhales. So while you're, you know, thunderbolting and you're going, oh my God, I can't breathe, that's when you really have to breathe even more. That's when you're expanding your heart and your chest and your throat, and you're opening up yourself. So you're really releasing all those toxic energies. And you're really opening yourself up to some more love and light, and you're challenging yourself, and you can feel that fire.
So like I'm hacking up loogies. It's amazing. And I think that when I first started all this, when I first started, you know, you think yoga, you think working out, but really the Eastern practice of yoga is the moving energy and the awareness that it brings in. And when you get into it and you don't judge yourself like, oh, I suck at that, or I'm falling over, or this hurts, I can't do it. Just back off. Like she's saying, and breathe, because it really is clearing out your energy. And a lot of people, you know, in Hotmomz, they'll talk about experiencing emotional outbursts, like they'll just start crying. And do you know anything about, we know our psoas, we hold a lot of stored trauma in our psoas. Yeah. So do you have anything like that, like you want to expand on?
Yeah, you definitely hold a lot of that in. I mean, I can't tell you how many times you guys cried on your mat. You're like,
tell her I cry every week.
Where does this come? We cry every week. This yoga transformation, you know, and the work that you do, the chakra work, I mean, it literally gets rid of all of this gunk that's built up, you know, the stuff that's in your throat. You're like, oh my God, what is all this stuff? It's everything, you know, your body's twisting and moving, and it's rinsing out your organs and, you know, your mind. I mean, it's just a complete release. You know, people are like, oh, I remember when I first started doing yoga, I'm like, oh, this is boring, you know? And then it's so much more internal. It's so much more your mind that you just, when you can really, and that's the hardest thing, to be still, to listen to what's going on inside and be in silence. That's super hard to do.
Tell her I told a story about
here. Hi, Casey.
What's up?
I always tell a story about how I've been doing yoga for about 10 years. And I tell this story all the time in class, how my yoga mat saved my life. So I've cried on my yoga mat. I met some of my closest friends on my yoga mat. I've laughed on my yoga mat until I've like almost peed my pants. So there's really something to be said about your yoga mat, right?
Yes. And I feel your heart is so open. And that's what that means. You know, when a lot of people start out, they judge themselves and they think that, oh, that's that wacky shit. That's that weird shit, breathing. They make fun of the yogi, and really that's their heart is so closed. That's what's going on. And I love when I get yoga instructors to say, hey, you know, let's just give yourself a big hug because you're here today. You know, like
that's so true. Yeah.
I love that. And women showing up. Go ahead.
No, I've like looked over and held Marisa's hand on her yoga mat.
Oh yeah, like sobbing.
Yeah, crying because we know what we've all been through. I have a chronically ill daughter, so when I started yoga 10 years ago, this yoga mat was my only outlet. So and we can all speak, all three of us we all have our own stories, as everybody does out there. So yoga has changed my life in multiple ways.
So I always want people, I know what I've been given. You know, when I started this, you just come to your mat, like this is your safe space. So any crap that's at the door, anything you walked in with, that shit's gone. You let that go. But you come to your safe space.
Right.
And every time I start a class, I say, welcome home. You are surrounded by energy. You are surrounded by everybody else that's going through the same crap. I don't know anyone that didn't have like a crazy ass year, right? So we need self-love, self-care. Keep filling yourself back up. And it pays off, man. You take care of yourself, and it's not just buying that purse, buying those shoes, buying whatever. It's literally filling yourself up, and the emotional and physical relief that you get after a workout, after lifting, after, you know, yoga, after chakra work, you do a million things, but you're also giving so much of yourself, Casey, all the time. You're helping fill all these people up. Someone's got to do it for you too.
Yeah, you have to fill yourself back up.
You got to fill yourself up first, and that's not selfish. I say it's self-love, it's self-care.
For sure.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. And then, you know, the yoga mat thing, and this is for people watching. I just want to encourage you have to keep going, even if you don't feel it, even if you, you know, it's like working out, you don't see the results with yoga. Even if, you know, and it showed up in my life in high school when I needed it the most. And I thought it was just, I was motivated by Denise Austin's ass, to be honest. And it made me feel like, okay, this is something I can do in the privacy of my own home and get a good body. And I just didn't understand fully. If I'd known then, like, hey, bitch, this is God's way of getting you out of this situation, you know, on the mat. But I just want to encourage those that don't feel the immediate gratification, keep showing up. Yoga, easy flow yoga. I'm not into the power yoga because a lot of us suffer adrenal fatigue and thyroid issues.
For sure. Anything.
We don't have a lot of energy. So as much, whatever we can do to just relax into our bodies and honor it, which is by those gentle movements and the twist and the breathing. Keep showing up, y'all. Keep showing up.
Yeah. I told this story a couple of weeks ago that one of the other girls, our friends, Delaney, she would make fun of me because I needed a new yoga mat because it was 10 years old. And Sabrina needs one, but my yoga mat was so special to me, you know, because there were so many memories about my mat. Because
so many journeys.
It saved my life all the time. That 1 hour, every time I got on, it saved my life from the situation I was going through in my life. So she would make fun of me and say, you need a new mat, you need a new mat, you need a new mat. And I would be like, no. I would never tell anybody this story. There was only like 2 people in my life that knew the story about my yoga mat until I finally shared it with my friends here in class. And I cried the whole time I shared the story. I'm like, you don't understand. I can't get rid of this yoga mat. It's been through hell and back with me and it saved my life. I still have not bought a new yoga mat, but I'm using the guy that is special to me in my life. I'm using his mat because I just can't bring it to myself to get rid of that mat.
It's sacred.
That's thing too, like opening your heart and your mind to other stuff. I mean, you're 24, right? 24, I'm 42, 38.
Yeah.
So from all walks of life, I mean, I wish I had found fitness. I wish I had found chakra work. I wish I had found yoga when I was her age, but then I wouldn't be where I am, right? I wouldn't have.
You can't have regrets, right?
Like you can't go back, but you can start at any age,
right?
And what I feel now is, Casey, you've known me for years now. like leaps and bounds. I mean, I was like anxious, like panic attacks every day, depression.
Wait, I've only known you a few months. And it's transformation.
It's transformation for sure.
Yeah.
Well, cool, y'all. Well, I appreciate your time, and
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Send donate money. It could be $2, $5, $500. Donate. She's got the links in there, and then I appreciate you. Reach out to her. Marisa, if you'll just comment under here, or if you're watching this video, if we've got it on YouTube or wherever, we will just follow Marisa. And then we had a comment. I want to read some of the comments. Here we go.
Yeah.
Donna said, "Thank you, Marisa. Great flow and great meditation. I love you. And thank you, Casey." So that's from Donna.
Love you, Don.
And then Christina said, "Amazing, Marisa. I was only able to watch the meditation, but stayed to watch, hoping I can learn yoga and participate with you. You rock."
Yay, girl. Thank you.
So do you know, is Christina and Donna your people?
Donna, Mercedes. What's Christina's last name?
Christina Maria Teresa.
Yes, I know Christina. I have I know them for my whole life, middle school, high school, kids, family, those are my girls. Yeah.
Love it. We appreciate the support, and thank you for your time. Y'all kick ass today. Let's do it.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.